Combat in Alien can start in three ways: a sneak attack, ambush, or a normal encounter where all parties are equally aware of each other. In all cases, combatants have to draw initiative cards at random that determine who goes first. No stats give you a leg up in Alien. Who goes first is not based on any skill. If you draw 1, you go first. 2, you go second, and so on. Starting combat by sneaking up on somebody requires a successful test of mobility versus your target's observation skill. This is an opposed test. If you succeed, you get one free action, either a slow or a fast one, you have to choose, before your opponent gets a chance to go. If you decide to do a close combat attack, they cannot block it, while normally they would be allowed to. Those are the advantages of sneak attack. Pretty handy, yeah? Starting a combat by ambush has the same advantages and requires the same tests. The only difference is that while sneaking up is a one-on-one action where the sneaking characters actively moves toward their target, an ambush is about one or more characters setting up an ambush in a given location and waiting for one or more opponents to walk in. Regardless of how the combat has started, once the surprise actions are resolved, everyone just follows the initiative order given by the cards you drew previously. Every round, all humanoid characters can perform one fast action and one slow action. Alternatively, they can choose to forego their slow action and perform 2 fast actions. Xenos have special rules, and they might perform more actions every round. Slow actions are your typical combat moves that usually require a test. Close range attack with some melee weapon, for instance, or shooting a gun. That would be ranged attack skill. Fast attacks mostly do not require a test. Those are actions such as drawing your weapon, running, retreating, or blocking. Attack test itself, be it ranged or closed combat, is a regular Alien Year Zero engine roll, which means you roll the amount of dice equal to the base attribute plus relevant skill plus bonus from gear, relevant modifiers you might have from wounds or another, plus the stress die. If you manage to score at least one success, you apply your weapon's base damage to your enemy. If you manage to get more than one success, you can perform stunts. For instance, in close combat, a stunt can either give you extra damage, force your opponent into prone position, or you can grapple them. A block is a fast action with a roll for close combat. That means you take close combat skill plus strength, just as if you were attacking someone in close combat, and add typical modifiers from gear, stress, and so on. You can only block other close combat attacks. So you cannot block someone shooting at you, for instance, with a ranged attack. And you must be armed with some kind of a weapon in order to block a closed ranged attack with a weapon, or if you're being attacked by a Xeno. When you're unarmed, you can only block another unarmed attack. Block is a pretty special action as it does not follow the typical initiative order. If an opponent who goes first attacks you, you can decide to block at the cost of using your fast action in this round. If you want to block an attack after your turn, you need to save one fast action first. So you have to remember to do that before. And if you succeed in block action, you can choose one of 3 options. One, the most basic one, which you can pick repeatedly for every single success die on close combat test, is just to decrease damage that otherwise would have been dealt to you. Second one is counterattack. This one you can choose only once. In this case, you deal your base damage of the weapon that you're currently holding to your opponent. And the third one is that you can disarm your opponent. Pretty handy, huh?